Yo. Belief systems. This going out a polygraph. So polygraph. Bus it? You say you got a fire burnin' inside for the deeper knowledge while requestin' we speak on a path of self-mastery, however we said whether or not we gettin' it's entirely up to you. Reason simple. If you follow any belief systems or religion, self-mastery's impossible. And to the religious as well's to you polygraph. Thes if by chance you do. What we're sayin's not meant to offend, nor should anyone be offended. Cause we tellin' people y'all greater than any religion, and if you ask we gon' tell a truth. You're not your religion. Religion's just a bunch of rules parasitical money jackin' men make up just to decide and track how you gon' have a connection with ya own fuckin' parent. However my actual father made it clear to me if I ever had a issue come straight to him not some other motherfucker. You see. Religion's the greatest criminal act in history, cause of fuck you over's one thing, however fucking over yo soul in a name of God's a totally different kinda evil. Last thing you need's go between retarded motherfuckers for a relationship with God, cause that ironically's the fucking opposite, yet there's the disgusting role religion plays. Nor's there lies what a hidden mystery schools taught, yet Christianity for example's plagiarized from it while purposely removing all the knowledge of self-empowerment so no need to continue for anyone who follows any religion. Nor need for us a getting it. And we say in this out of respect for your right of freely do's you wish. Not disrespect. Religion simply doesn't allow to shit we say far as self-mastery goes. Because the agenda kidnappers of children to have those children forget their real parents exist, while telling them hypocritical lies about how their parents told them a baby sit ya ass and play the role ya yo parent instead. The religious kidnappers'll tell every wicked lying story to the children they kidnap about how they mommy and daddy sent 'em to take care of them and how they real parents gon' punish and burn 'em for eternity if they don't obey their church. Gettin' a quest to find yo parents they wanna rid from yo mind cause if the quest is real a children gon' achieve it. They'll tell ya every lying commandment possible just to keep you from finding out while sittin' poisonous serpents predators and illusional demons front of that foyer door. So. If you wanna know who you really are. That. Is the meanin' of this. Humanity's real parent. And a fucking kidnapper. Was its name. Religion. And truth. Ain't no religion. Nevertheless whether you follow a religion or not we simply gon' drop a few truths. Cause there's no God outside oneself. And we ain't say there's no God. We said outside oneself. That's why that Jesus dude kept sayin' it's within. The great secret religions purposely ignore. Cause it brings motherfuckers closer to that foyer door. See talking about anything from science philosophy to religion's fine, however that's not what you requested. You requested self-mastery. That's a totally different arena with nothing higher if you're serious, however if you're serious it's an impossible path for a religious person. A kidnapped child who embraces their kidnappers'll never see freedom. And only in freedom self-mastery's attained. See we just gon' break down Christianity for example, yet this goes for anything not just religion. Cause a average man's fallible greedy and walkin' with a poisoned level of moral dignity. And on the contrary this ain't their innate nature spite the fact it's what so many other politically religious kidnappers teach 'em. And we say politically religious cause a separation of church and state's one of the biggest lies the kidnappers tell next to you being an innately wicked sinner. The serpent's meant to be under yo foot, however they've used this lie to keep humanity under theirs. That's like preachin' every computer's innately virus the fuck up. Well that's not how your computer came in a box. It's church and state downloadin' infected crap into people's minds. It's a program souls have no awareness of cause they've no knowledge of self. Which is the hidden poisonous agenda of belief systems. There's no need for a person to live based on beliefs in a world where nothing's unknowable. To possess power and know an ancients taught law, however sadly religion hid it so humanity has no idea what the fuck it is. They're programmed to believe laws or rules governments come up with. These are mental viruses that get into anything natural just to infect it. Keep in mind that all is mind. And they'll infect any available mind just to use as a host for their malicious ways of thinking. If it's a mind of beauty, they'll manipulate, rearrange and distort it for the sake of psychological control over motherfuckers. For this reason we've a serious problem with dictionaries. Like religion, the dictionaries some and few question. Yet no dictionary gives a false definition so extreme it'll trigger the average reader's mind into questioning it. Shit just slips unnoticeable poison in a yo drink. Next you feelin' woozy wonderin' why. Someone will get in our video on translation and interpretation, however we made it clear how administering poison works years ago, revealing no one gives a motherfucker straight up poison. They mix it with legit food and drink. Take the definition of belief systems. Can you identify the poison in a food? Knowing how's vital if you seek self-mastery. The origin of principles has nothing to do with belief. This is mixing in poisonous false information. Turning down one wrong street when given directions to a destination'll never get you to it, causing you to go in a grave never reaching it. For us this is now a crime. Yet these fools got their hands on it, spreading false mixed in information. The same kind of motherfuckers roaming round a world excavating tombs of wise ancients who ain't they fucking business, then spreading false history of these civilizations. Principles of ancient chemists based on factual laws, not belief, which revealed the truth of what God really is. Sadly religions plagiarize turning laws of knowing into false poisonous beliefs for the sake of psychological manipulation and political control. Meaning unconscious slavery. Slavery, without potential rebellion from the slaves, works better for 'em. Yet religious followers have no awareness of this, they simply religiously follow due to being programmed and never question authority. Which is blindly following some other soul's methodology for thinking, believing and living, and since masses won't simply follow some man's ways just cause he says so, they attached an all-powerful deity who'll terrorize yo ass by burning you forever if you don't obey. Whatever works is the only rule they follow, and that one worked for 'em. Sadly it still works for many this day, since followers never sit back and think hard enough or realize only those who administer these systems of belief they follow profit while they never get diddly fucking squat. Religions use techniques of psychological manipulation through hypocritical commandments and threats of eternal damnation if you don't let 'em suck yo blood till death. They'll tell you thou shalt not lie while sitting there lying a yo ass. No summon. If a man's artwork sucks, you say he's a crappy artist. If a singer writes a crappy song, everyone blames the singer, not the song. If a sculptor creates a trash sculpture, you say he sucks, never hire that motherfucker. The sculptor's the target, not the sculpture, since the sculpture's just a revelation of how bad the sculptor is. Anyone with a brain doesn't blame the crappy art, cause a crappy art's not the problem, the artist doing a crappy work is. So right away we call out the artist stead of the crappy art. Someone come a yo crib and throw trash on a floor, you gettin' a beef with a motherfucker who threw the trash on a floor, not the trash. Yet pastors, ministers and priests blame you for their false fictional god they made up's crappy artwork stead of their God who they claims the creator of it. He created you. Anus bad works yo fall to court into these hypocritical lion ass dumb motherfuckers. So get on yo knees and pray to God to forgive you for 'em being a bad artist while giving a church yo money. Cause Creflo need a $60 million jet to go with his mansion he bought with your money while he slaps his daughter the fuck up. See, they could never pull this con job off on a ancients, they try to jack this shit from cause a hidden mystery schools taught law of the real supreme being. And a simple Laura correspondence proves their teachings just a shitload of lies through the very factual correspondent example we just demonstrated. Laws that derive from a actual real God. Which ain't some guy in a sky engaging in voyeuristic fetishes clocking naked people in a garden. All this shit they made up just to control people. Talking about a word of God, God ain't right, that shit scribes did plagiarize in everything from ancient Egyptian texts Homer to our literal biological lineage. Feel free to investigate it since religious followers too terrified of. If they did, they'd discover Bible writers ain't even try and meditate just a even attempt to talk with or feel a presence of a real God, they just put what appeased authorities for political control. Government was their God. Sadly biblical readers don't know cause they never considered investigating. There's literally a version of the Bible called King James, so like when's people gon' wake the fuck up? No joke. King James, who's nowhere round during none of these biblical events, decided he gon' make his own version. And we ain't even gon' get a Bloody Mary thaz a whole nutta video. Which we'll probably never do since we ain't trying to fuck motherfuckers heads up. Nevertheless these men are extremely fallible, that's why they got the fake God they created screwing up non-stop. Killin' 1 minute, tellin' people not to killin', next rapin' women, beatin' slaves, sendin' snakes to Biden, kill his own people, hypocritically break in his own commandments while constantly changin' his mind so their God's just a fucking mess. Know why? Cause men are messes and there's who wrote it, not God. Naturally there's a history of all a cherry-picked purposely misinterpreted texts they made a mess of, but betcha ass they've never talked of God nor have a clue what God even is. They just stole texts they ain't right, reshaping it into what they wanted. We know we've been past the foyer, they haven't. See, there's a reason so many physicists ain't atheist. And a reason's cause is something they know concerning energy, not a belief system. That's why they don't define God as a idiotic undisciplined dude religion created. Reason translators reinvented God into this fake creation simple. Those who knew law were masters of themselves. And since they wanted to be their masters instead, they went on a lengthy war against self-mastery, which continues this day. That's why we can't do a video on what viruses really are. Nevertheless, hence here comes Jesus' agenda. Damage control. In a good way. Some believe he never existed. For now it's irrelevant whether he existed or not, the agenda still damage control. To remove the poisonous lack of self-knowledge. He's an antivirus. And whether you think he existed or not, his teachings on laws on point. Though y'all wouldn't know since they hid all those texts reducing a dude to miracles with a few usually mistranslated quotes from a Aramaic language they don't even fucking speak. And guess who killed Jesus? Take a guess. Yeah, guess. The Christians. Same ones you see sitting in church worshiping a man every week listening to these lies. That's fucking who. Then got a hypocritical ironic audacity just to literally display their murderous work behind them while preaching about the very man they slayed. Sadly the followers have no idea they did it. They think some other group of motherfuckers did, yet never investigate or realize only group they're engaging in the crucifixion was their church. They had the nails and did the hammering. We talkin' mind-blowing cognitive dissonance at its finest. The brain's vital for people use, and's the greatest God gift churches preach against utilizing. They've no awareness the real God don't do bad art. Blessin' people with a brain, which sadly churches teach usin's a crime. Who killed Jesus? The Romans. Feed in a Christians to the lions, and every available predator ain't no metaphor. Literally killin' millions. And was the biggest Christian organization on a planet. The Roman Catholic Church. This shit's in front of people's faces in plain sight and they can't see it. Because religion hypnotizes motherfuckers into being mental zombies when it comes to their made-up god boogeyman stories, to the point their blind was in front of their faces. Why'd they kill him? For showing people how to beat a master themselves through teaching law. Deemed enemy of the state. Not for working miracles. They killed the brother for being a political threat. Teaching he was a son of God wasn't the threat. Teaching you was too was. So the church deleted that part. True knowledge of self, which empowered people thereby threatening political policy. The Roman Catholic Church was a political move, not a spiritual nor godly one. That's why they're politically exempt. Since the original Christian Gnostics weren't going away spite all a killin' which they pinned on God, they decided making up their own fake version of Christianity just to keep the false Old Testament God Jesus condemned alive would be an easier way to deal with the problem stead of consistently creating Christian martyrs. Naturally they kept killing cause they just enjoy killing stuff. However, they knew this was a easier way to have control over all sectors of their society rather than a fragmented one with rebels roaming. Since the same people who called for Jesus' death were now Christians more than 3 centuries later with the same wicked mentality, they provided them with plenty more killing. Which they enjoyed. You know. Cause the Bible said thou shalt not kill. See the modern day Christian you see in churches of the fake Christians who thumbed up killing Jesus, while the real Christian Gnostics who didn't follow religious belief systems since Jesus taught against them were killed off. They then went and did what Jesus taught, the opposite of creating a religious belief system of mockery in his name. Known as Christianity. Killing his teachings of law by killing him through crucifixion's their crime. Meanwhile a Bible-thumping churchgoers possess no clue. And they'll kill him again if he shows up. See, most people think the great deception's some event in a future when in reality it's some in their living. They then use brainwashing techniques by pumping a followers with lies telling them they're all worthless garbage whose sins Jesus died for. Wrong. Jesus didn't die for yo sins. They simply killed him for teaching laws that made theirs apparent. Jesus killed the Old Testament God. They got revenge by killing Jesus in return. And kill him every Sunday by making sure they teach the opposite of everything the man ever said or stood for in a very constructed place as he told people and never build. He said within yo ass, not a fucking church. Taught on hillsides and fields cause a term within's got none in a do with a money collectin' basket passin' buildin' packed with hypocrites. So the man who seeks self-mastery must walk his own path. Nor's this mean we never hear, listen, learn and even adopt ways from others. Just means a master of self learns how to sift out the poison. Even if your path includes taking pieces of others worth having, polygraphianism must ultimately be your way. Eventually everyone'll learn to follow their own path, making every soul followers of the same thing. However, when they do that won't be a religion, just oneness, which a true higher nature. This is what our ancient hidden mystery schools taught. Which originally weren't mystery schools, just schools. It's the destruction of their teachings which caused them to be plunged in a realm of mystery. As people scratch their heads wondering how they built those pyramids. Sadly people seek this knowledge to this day, believe in its loss, however it's not. Same way one can burn a Liberia Alexandria yet have no clue where its origin of distribution's located. Nor we tellin'. Spite the fact they couldn't get there if we did. There's a foyer door they ain't passin'. 'Cause they ain't worthy. They'll just read write and debate false nonsense till they are. Which ain't gon' be no time soon. Nevertheless behind a door's all a lost knowledge. The truth is self. Principles of empowerment and freedom. Most religions were created to diminish the power through psychological control. And ironies they used people's unconscious subconscious power to empower themselves. People's power is so powerful that if they believe there's a big giant idiot in a sky they'll create one kneeling to their own creation due to lack of self-knowledge. Ancient priests of manipulation knew this. They call these secrets for a reason and tell you any such knowledge is evil cause if by chance you learn it their advantage over the minds of followers will no longer exist. Cause no one's listening to a motherfucker on a podium they're smarter than. The knowledge ain't evil, only their brainwash in a keep people away from it is. That's why Jesus kept telling people their faith did it. Their faith healed them. He's really telling them their own power their minds did it. That it's the God within not a money collecting kidnapper on a podium. And told them so they can turn their belief in a knowing and be empowered. They've always possessed this power, however they've been programmed to think so little of themselves by the kidnappers they feel more confident believing some external forces making shit happen in their lives. They've even been programmed to believe that self-belief's defiance of God. The God-fearing entity one should be in terror of. On the contrary. It's compliance not defiance, however sadly this happens when people are taught God's a who. Rather than a what. Meanwhile they teach giving 'em your money's compliance with God while they turn God into a stupid hypocritical man who needs also burn in hell due to not follow in his own commandments. From floodin' lands killin' innocent firstborns to sendin' poisonous serpents to kill his own people the dude just can't stop killin'. So stick with a what? As if you wanna walk the path of self-mastery. Cause a real God ain't do not a single one of these false claims and a only one with a fetish for killin's men who keep lyin' by pinning their own lust for killin' on God. Jesus condemned even capturing a bird so he damn sure wasn't with killin' innocent humans nor was gon' let you stone some starvin' chick for fuggin' for a coin. Since his damage control defiance of their religious teachings started fuggin' up their lies they had to get rid of that dude. Naturally religion virus's methodology for mutatin' was a emphasize Jesus being a only begotten son of God afa killin' him, and all a y'all a nut and morden poop in a earth toilet. So don't pay attention to when he say you can do the miraculous shit he does too. Or claims he's the son of man and you're all gods who don't know it. They ain't gon' preach that part, don't need y'all gettin' any self-empowerment ideas. Wanna know the secret of prophecy polygraph? Tellin' people something gon' happen. Then having a people make the prophecy happen through full belief in it. If they believe a war's comin' they'll start making chaotic actions that'll inevitably materialize one. That's like me prophesizing two dudes gon' fight then tellin' both dudes the other talk bout they mama. Then a followers'll claim wow the prophecy came true. And we prophesize people'll wake up tomorrow eat and shouldn't continue in a believe stupid crap. We look forward to the day we get the believing stupid crap wrong. Naturally anyone who begins untangling a tangled minds outta masses gets condemned to crucifixion. So Jesus kept telling them they're doing it while pointing to the foyer door. Sadly religion tells people opposite. Keep in mind this man didn't create Christianity. Men did. Then purposely taught not and the man taught just to crucify him every Sunday. Their agenda was to disempower the self-empowerment taught. If you can't kill a horse break and place a saddle on a motherfucker then ride him in a opposite direction he was going. That's how the religion virus mutated a man's lessons on law with scientific knowledge self in a some mystical airy-fairy faith belief system totin' only son of God. See a civilization a day's just a distorted result of original teachings of the hidden mystery schools. The term lawyer originally had nothing to do with some dude with a briefcase. It derived from ancient adepts of law, having nothing to do with rules men make up. Since the advanced ancient utilized law with respect, the poisonous virus came along mixing rules in with law. Once the subconscious mind gets immune to the poisonous mix perceiving a poison as normal, then you take the next step and remove actual laws replacing it with rules while calling the rules laws when in reality they're not. Self-mastery is impossible without this knowledge belief systems don't allow. They're poisonous to self-mastery, however only if one ingests it. Point being polygraph. If you wanna be the master yourself. If you're serious about real gnosis. You can follow no man. Which means no belief system. If you don't we can kick it on self-mastery. If you do there's no continuing. No judgment in the lease. 'Cause she's a path few men pursue.